All right. So, when we last left the party, they had recently returned to the mansion of Argen Vostholt, having struggled a bit the last time they set foot in the crumbling manor. The party fought their way to a hard-earned victory over dead creatures that had driven them off just a few days before. Beaten and bruised though they may be, it would seem that they are one step closer to procuring the Sword of Sunlight, of which the fortune teller Madame Eva spoke.
I remember being told about a sword.
It
Well,
was there.
You were.
Yeah, that was literally what we were here for.
I thought we were just told a vague idea of what
Nope.
something could be. I didn't think we were told directly what it was.
Nope, I knew exactly what it
I
was.
think some things are vague and some things aren't, right?
Yeah, for this one I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, I think the exact terminology
Sword of
was a
Sunlight.
weapon of vengeance, sword of,
Oh,
or something like
Tells
that.
of a weapon, vengeance, Sword of Sunlight.
Yeah.
And it was in a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. And we have to look to the highest peak.
I thought
As
something
Ron
really
adjusts
spoiled
his glasses and slides the paper back into his vest.
At least Ron is smart enough to be able to read.
Of course, what kind of Neanderthalic idiot do you think I am?
Oh, I have to answer.
So, as the group is standing in the grand entry hall of the mansion, all these undead creatures lying seemingly finally put to rest around them. What's the plan?
Going up that tower.
Yep.
Okay.
Searching for an entrance to the tower.
Alright. So, given that it is above the chapel, you're able to head over that way. You see the spiral staircases on both the left and right walls. By the looks of things, they lead up to the same balcony that sort of joins just above the double doors by which you would enter the chapel.
Ron just feels drawn to go to the left. To the left.
And suddenly your vocals get much better.
Yes.
Okay. Any objections?
Nope, let's go to the left.
Alright. So you head up the left spiral staircase, finding yourselves on this wooden balcony overlooking the chapel. To your right, just above the double doors where you entered the chapel, on the floor below, there is an exquisitely carved wooden throne resting at the west end of this balcony between two doors. And you can see now that narrow archways sort of frame the doors that lead to these staircases, one of which you came up. And hanging from the very high ceiling of this chapel, you see an iron chandelier with candle holders shaped like tiny silver dragons.
Are there candles in it?
There are some, though many of them are quite burned down.
Is it within 30 feet, or is the roof taller than that?
The roof is taller than that, but the way the chandelier is hanging, I would say you're probably within 30 feet or so.
I want to light it with thaumaturgy.
Okay. And so the few candles that are both there and have enough of a wick left to light ignite.
And then I want to sit in the throne if I can.
Okay. So, just walking over and sitting there and looking at the rest of your party.
I'll flop down and get comfy and I can get used to this.
Okay. As you sit down in the throne, There's a loud crackling and squealing of aged wood underneath your weight. But other than that, there's nothing that happens.
I'm getting out of the chair, fearing it's gonna break, or maybe the board's underneath it.
Okay. So, it would seem that, well, the only ways to progress here would be, let's see. Well, you would be able to continue up the spiral staircases. Or, you could look for some other means of progressing through them.
Are there any secret doors leading out of this room?
Go ahead and make an investigation. Okay. You look around, and after surveying every of wall or alleged wall, you don't find any secret doors.
Oh.
Just the two very visible ones that flank the throne. A total of 4 windows that look out into a courtyard of sorts on one side, and down a very steep decline toward the outer reaches of the.
Okay. I guess up the stairs again.
I'll follow after.
Okay.
Let's go up the left stairs again.
All right. And let's see. What we are looking at here. All right. So you continue up the stairs. For a little bit longer than your last, you get the impression you might actually be bypassing one floor of the manor in doing so. But eventually, you reach the top, and upon doing so, okay. Let me shuffle over to this. Alright. You find yourselves atop a round battlement atop a very tall turret. There don't seem to be actually any door other than the one that leads to a somewhat flat surface just at the very top here. Beyond that, I would like everyone to make a perception check.
Ooh.
Ouch. You don't get to make 2 perception checks just because
Yeah.
you're slow.
Yeah, I accidentally double clicked.
Sorry.
I wish you could, though.
Okay. So, as you all kind of make your way up, find the rather small enclosed space here, this turret. You, let's see. Okay. As you're all kind of crammed in with, well, actually, one of you, maybe the animated arm, having to wait still back on the stairs a bit. You see the shape of a warrior sort of transparent and ethereal in nature, materialize in front of you. And before any of you get a chance to react, because you're all taken by surprise, he is going to make a couple of attacks.
Oh,
Thunderbar.
Mhm. So, let me make a couple things here. Alright. So, let's be honest. Who would have been up front?
Hmm.
I can't see, so it wouldn't have been me.
Probably me. Because I can see.
Okay. Um,
What race are you, Austin?
Dwarf.
Okay.
he,
So he
might be
could
able to
see too, yeah.
If anything, I'm like hanging at the back.
I would have either been second or third.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm behind Malkar then.
that's fair. Alright. So, I guess we'll go ahead and say that Yoan is up front. In that case, Yoan, what is your AC?
16.
Alright, so as the still materializing figure of this warrior swings at you with what looks to be a spectral longsword of some sort, he swings twice. Once just barely clipping you for 5 points of force damage. And the second time swinging wide and missing you entirely.
Did we have a short rest?
You didn't say anything about it.
Okay.
We're fine.
Alright, so at this point, I suppose.
I'm gonna fill up the room with darkness.
Okay, let's clear the old initiatives.
Just because you can't see doesn't mean no one can see.
The Hunger of Vidar, no one can see through it, even with magical things.
I know. That's why I said just because you can't see doesn't mean you should make everyone else not able to see.
He can see fine though. He has true vision or something, don't you?
I can't see through that still.
But you can see in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so because of the close quarters of this fight, I'm going to just pull out tokens for everybody and use your fancy new initiative buttons to set an order, and we'll kind of go theater of the mind for this encounter. Because it's the only really practical way to do it. Let's see.
Who are these for?
Us.
Rolling garbage for us. Probably rolled me that nat one.
No, it's gonna be me. It's always me.
Oh, I have an initiative of 4. That couldn't be me.
See?
2.
It also can't be me, so.
So
Okay. So, let me roll that.
That's 12 of me.
What's a bard doing with that high of dex?
what? I don't know. You don't know. You gotta make up for it somewhere.
Okay, so first up, seemingly at the back of the group, is Dane's set of animated armor, which, if you remember, is looking kind of dinged up. Or, well, quite dinged up. So, I would say if you wanted to kind of have it squeeze up the stairs and like barely make it to a point where it could engage this ghostly figure, you could do that. But, you know, there is, of course, the risk of whatever might happen if the suit of armor is broken or defeated in battle. So, that's your call.
Okay. Yeah, I can stay there at the bottom of the stairs since it's can barely get up here anyways.
Okay.
Guard the rear.
Yeah, make sure nobody else is coming for you. Probably not a bad idea. Okay. Then if the animated armor is just going to hold there, that's going to bring us to Yowen. Yowen, who is squarely lined up with this ghostly warrior. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna try and stab him.
Okay. Alright. And the form of this thing just seems to kind of dissipate to allow the spear to just pass through, seemingly not dealing any damage.
Okay. Do I get to see the initiative?
Maybe?
I see the numbers rolled in chat, but I don't see an actual turn order. I just see an empty box.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, for the sake of you guys being able to see, I'm just going to pull minis out onto the splash screen here. Can you see?
Nope.
I can see the minis.
I
Yeah.
don't exist.
And you
Nope.
can't see the turn order?
Nope.
Interesting.
Rerolling.
No, don't re-roll.
Well, actually, that'll put us on there at least. And then-
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll fuck up the order.
Can you edit us?
I can. 1 second. I gotta fucking screenshot everything before I... let's see.
You and your 19.14.
Okay, so now... everybody go ahead and just roll so you show up display.
I'll take it.
Nope.
It didn't work.
Nat 20,
Nope.
like yesterday. That's so cool.
Okay. This is a pain in the ass. Okay. So Ron had an 8. Melkar had a 12. Yowen had a 16. Or wait. No. Yowen had a 14. 14.
1.5.
Yeah. There we go. The armor had a 16. And then that means
Oh
Dane.
no. Dane rolled a 4.
Yep.
Oh, good.
4 there. And animated armor. Rolled 16. And well, the other guy,
The other guy.
the ghostly warrior.
Where's Esmeralda and Rictavio?
In the pile.
Yeah, you're kind of backed up essentially over the space of 2 entire floors as you're all lined up.
What's this room we're in?
It's like not even a room. It's like the top of a tower.
Oh,
I mean, I'm just wondering, are they like with
They,
us?
they are with you, yes. But at this point, I would say it's probably not even feasible to expect them to fight through the crowd to get up to the top.
Okay.
Okay. And then... I'm just going to do this. And order it. And there. Okay. So, Yoan. You used your spear attack. Was there anything else?
Is there a place where I can move to, like, be less out of the way so people can be within melee range?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oops.
Okay. Just behind this figure, you can see you hadn't initially noticed, which is a seam of sorts that kind of belies probably a door that leads to some chamber beyond sort of top platform where you see the spectral warrior standing right now. You would have to pass through its space somehow to get there, though.
Is there a way I can pass through its space? I don't think so, because it's an enemy.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, then not right now. I have nothing else to do.
Okay. Melkar, being second or third, I'd say you're able to get a line of sight here if you have something you'd like to do.
is it at melee range so I don't get disadvantage on spells?
Yeah, since you're kind of fighting your way up a spiral staircase, sufficiently blocking any access to you.
Alright. Going to cast Eldritch Blast a couple times.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, at least it's not a double failure. I'm not bringing any more balconies down on.
Oh. I hope there's not a balcony above us.
Becca's greatest enemy: balconies.
At least it's not a door.
Speaking of which, as Malkar's Eldritch Blast misses the first time around, it actually blasts into the area of the wall that Yoan had noticed seemed perhaps a bit door-like, and it does swing open a bit. And in so doing, it reveals a small but certainly more maneuverable landing than what you are currently situated on. And it seems like you are most of the way up the tower. But there's not a whole lot you can do with that information just yet. The second one does make contact. And let me switch over to one of my upwards of a dozen windows I have open right now. Okay. So it does hit. And yeah, the Phantom Warrior does seem to take the full brunt of that damage. So, that being the case, anything else from Melkar?
Let me see what this spell takes. See if I can even use it. Does it take any? Oh, it takes an action. Can't use it. Never mind. End of my turn.
Okay. So then that will bring us to Ron, who, for the sake of all this, let's say you're third and just able to make out this ghostly form up at the top of the steps.
Alright, I'm gonna lean over Malkar, and I'm gonna go, "What the hell's going on? Oh God, he's an ugly one, isn't he?" And I'm gonna viciously mock him. Whoa. What happened?
You will viciously mock him in silence.
Please hold. My vicious mockery is fucked up. So let's delete it.
Huzzah for technical difficulties.
That work?
That worked. Okay, so there's a DC 6. Whew, that's a 3.
The great thing is he has disadvantage on his next, what was it, on attacks until something. No, let's see.
Like the next turn or something.
On the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay. Duly noted. Okay. Anything else from Ron?
No, nah, that'll be it.
Okay. So then that'll bring us to Ghostly. It is going to swing its longsword a couple of times at, well, the only one who's still in range, Yo. One attack, which is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Is that
And
disadvantage?
ooh, good point. That is an 8 to hit.
Nope.
And how about a 6 for that second?
Nope.
Nice.
I don't even have inspiration when I'm inspiring people.
Very nice. And yeah, that's about all this thing can do. Certainly not going to back up and give you any positioning. So that's it. All right, Dane, as you are kind of
Assuming I can't see anything.
yeah, you just hear this clattering and commotion going on about a floor above you, just out of sight from what you can tell.
Alright, so I can't do anything.
Sorry, man, close quarters.
Go back down and go up the other stairs.
Okay. All right. So then, if Dane is just staying put and waiting for some jump in or something, that's going to bring us to the animated armor, which I would imagine is doing about the same.
Yep.
Okay, Yoan.
Okay. I have a plan.
Hey.
I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Damn!
It's at the creature thing.
Okay. Yeah, and due to the way it works, yeah, you could direct it in such a way as to just hit the creature.
Yep.
That is a con save of 9.
Aha! Push him back 10 feet.
Okay, so the figure then stumbles back through the recently forced open door, and actually nearly seems to fall off the like over the railing of this balcony that you can see on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, I mean, this is more. We now have more room, right?
Yes, now have
Okay.
you are head forward. It would basically be 10 feet of movement to get in the door and then kind of out of the door frame so as allow other people positioning.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
No, move in and then move off to the side.
All right. So yeah, you do that. Anything else you'd like?
Nope.
All right. Melkar, you see all this go down, and there's now a clear path into the landing where Yoan just forced this thing into.
I'm going to come up behind Yoan, and Yoan is a meat shield, and shoot over his shoulder.
Okay.
You don't have a thing
Um,
that knocks him back, do you?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Okay. So one of those does hit. The other one just sails a little wide and slams against the stone wall on the opposite tower. This thing is starting to look like it's having some trouble holding itself together in its kind of semi-corporeal form. Anything else from Malkar?
No.
All right, Ron, you're right up next. This kind of works out. The initiative order is the marching order, so you're all just kind of filing in.
I'm gonna step in, kind of peek my head around the corner, and see the thing is like over near the edge. And I'll be like, huh. I'm just gonna kind of look at him and go, you know, you really should jump. And I'm gonna use that as vicious mockery, telling it to, you know, to just jump.
Okay. So I'm doing really great on these saves today. Yeah, that's a 10.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, looking weaker by the minute, or by the second, I suppose. Anything else Ron would like to do?
I'm just gonna kind of shrug and like look not mad, just disappointed, and just kind of walk away.
Okay. You could swear you see the thing sort of furrow its eyebrows at you, like, what the hell? Before. Let's see. Yeah, it's just gonna keep fighting. So, the positioning wise, guess it's gonna keep trying to chop at Yoan
It has disadvantage.
on the first one. Yes. So that's a 7.
Yay!
It would have been an 18.
Yay!
The next one's probably gonna hit.
Nope, that's a 6.
Oh damn!
The tilt is strong, as you can see the anger of this thing beginning to affect its performance a little bit, and yeah, it can't seem to connect.
I'm just waiting for karma to catch up on us. It's gonna be hell.
It's gonna catch up on us when we're fighting Strahd.
He will make all the saves.
And we
I mean, you know, evil vampire overlord and such.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that concludes the enemy's turn. Dane, you have a clear path to run up the steps and do something.
All right. I go up the steps and hit him with my sword.
All right. Let's see, 15 to hit. The thing just manages to kind of duck out of the way at the last minute. You could swear you might have taken off like a layer of skin if it was actually a physical being, but not quite.
All right.
You have another attack.
Oh, I can hit it twice.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
extra attack, don't
Oh,
you?
yep.
There you go, 17 hits.
There you
All right, so on the kind of backswing, you bring your greatsword back across and sort of cleave thing's neck to a point where it almost looks like the head is about to roll off, but the misty form of the thing just sort of pulls itself back together and it stitches its neck back up kind of before your eyes. But the entirety of this thing is just, it's almost flickering. Looks like it's almost taken care of, almost gone. But there's just that struggle, that will to go on just a little bit more. Anything else from Dane?
Nope.
Okay, and how about the animated armor?
It kind of just stands up on the landing.
Okay. Yoan.
I am going to cast Thorn Whip.
Oh,
Damn!
Damn.
okay.
Ow.
Just
And, yeah. Would you care to describe how you are going to do this?
I guess I'll just go and kind of, I don't know, lasso him, pull it tight.
Okay. And so the thorn whip digs in, and the thing is kind of struggling to free, but eventually you can just kind of see the fight go out of its eyes, and it just dissipates into a whitish mist that just kind of disappears. And with that, this combat encounter seems to be over.
I go and loot its non-existent corpse.
You find nothing.
You find non-existent.
you don't get any
Treasure.
non-existent gold.
You got plenty of non-existent.
I fill my bag with non-existent gold.
All right.
Yoan looks at you like you're, just losing it.
I'm just happily shoveling gold into my pouch, or what I think is gold.
It's just air.
Yep.
It's just there. Okay. So, you find yourselves on this landing. And looking around to give you kind of a better picture of what you're looking at. Let's see. You see stairs, a larger set of spiral stairs leading now up the wall of this larger tower that you now find yourselves in. You see a few windows off to your right that look out over what seems to be the roof of the mansion. You have come through what you can see. This now is actually a wooden door. It just seems to have been concealed on the other side. And there's another wooden door that is sort of a mirror image of the one that you've ascended, probably leading to the other smaller spiral staircase. As far as the rest of your surroundings, you can look down over the balcony and see the floor and the pews of the chapel, way down, probably 60 or so feet at this point. Let's see. I'd like everybody to go ahead and make a perception check. Okay.
Woo!
All right. And I would say probably everyone, considering the nature of this, as you're looking around and kind of surveying your surroundings, you stretch of floor over by the windows looks particularly weak. Probably not safe to walk on, or at least to normally walk on. Perhaps with some careful, if you were to traverse them carefully, you might just be able to make it across.
I think I might be the smallest if you guys want me to go across.
Sure. I am most likely not the smallest.
I'm like an average-sized human male.
I pull out a joint, light it, and hand it to Malkar as he gets up. Just as a, thank you for going.
I mean, half orcs are usually about the same as the average male humans, so.
I'm gonna take a big hit of that, and then try and tiptoe over the board Going
Tiptoeing
slow.
through the tulips.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you guys have noticed this, Malkar, go ahead and give me a. Let's call it a dex check with advantage because you know to be ready for it. Okay. So yeah, without really any issue at all, you kind of brace yourself partially against the wall, and always kind of finding a handhold just in case. Ease your way across this 10-foot wide or so stretch of floor that looks a bit weak. You are now across the way and standing wooden and at the base of the spiral stairs that kind of frame this larger section of the tower. Who's next?
I guess I'll sneak over.
Okay, same deal. Dex check with advantage. Okay, you hear the creaking and crackling as it's not quite as graceful as attempt, but the floor does hold, and you make it across.
Seeing this, I kind of chuckle, and I'll go next.
Okay, same deal.
Still with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus!
Just see are holding out the joint, like, come on, Ron, you can do it.
So as you're making your way over, one spot of the floor gives out, and one foot breaks through, and you feel this lurch as you begin to fall. But go ahead and give me a dex save. No advantage or anything, just a dex save.
All right.
1. Oh.
Okay,
On
but
the
you're able to
balcony.
catch yourself and land softly enough. The rest of the floor actually doesn't give way. There's just this now foot-shaped hole in one portion of it as you slowly and carefully kind of push your way up out of the hole that you created for yourself and make it the rest of the way across.
I'm gonna press the digitation and clean up all the splinters
Okay.
around the hole.
Alright. So then Mr. Dane and his animated arm on the other side.
So that leaves me.
Yep.
Maybe you should leave your animated armor
Yeah.
outside.
Your armor
armor's
still, yeah.
Or you could try to have it jump.
Have it slam dunk you on the other side.
Charlie's right here.
I'll try and walk across.
Okay, give me a dex check. Okay, so go ahead and roll it again. We'll take the high.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, then.
So as you're walking across, I'm trying to avoid the foot-shaped hole that that Ron left in the floor. There's another, and your opposite leg now kind of falls through. So there are two mismatched footholes on this rickety old wooden landing. Go ahead and give me a dex save, not with advantage, just the one roll. And the floor proceeds to give out entirely.
No.
But you're able to hold on just by your fingertips, and you're dangling from this part of the balcony and eventually able to pull yourself up as the armor just stands there on the other side. I would say, it can't exactly stare.
I just walk over, stand next to him, and say, "Wow, you really made a mess of things, didn't you?"
I just snap my fingers. Damn. Hoping you call.
Just trying to kill people.
Well, I would say you're prone to having heavy objects dropped upon you, aren't you, dwarf?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to keep heavy objects away from this one, I believe.
Okay. So, having traversed that part of the floor, there's now what seems like it might be a doorway to the opposite spiral staircase. A set of stairs that goes up the core section of the tower. What would you like to do?
I mean, I want to go up the stairs to the core of the tower.
Okay. Any objections?
I'm following in the same order.
Alright, yeah. Would anybody like to...
What?
Would anyone like to change marching order before we proceed up? Or
Second.
in...
Second, because I'm squishy.
Okay. Alright. If nobody would like to shift, then we'll say you guys go ahead and continue up the larger flame. And so you continue, and the whole way up, you feel and hear the wooden stairs kind of threateningly creaking under your combined weight. But there aren't any other incidents like the one on the landing. As you kind of just climb to a point where you can see into this chamber, you can see that you are indeed at the top of the tower. And all around, you see roosting in the rafters of this topmost area of the tower. There are a number of ravens. They seem to be just coming and going as they please through small holes. Some 10-foot high, 5-foot wide arched windows are evenly spaced around the walls, and each window consists of some sort of metal lattice work fitted with small panes of stained glass. Go ahead and everybody give me a
What?
perception check.
Damn it.
Okay, so Yoan, as you've kind of taken the lead, are the first one to lay eyes and have the most time to process. The movement of the ravens can be a little distracting, but after just a second or two, you see, resting on the windowsill nearest the top of the stairs where you've ascended, a sword.
I want to check it for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
In the meantime, can I hold my hand out and try and see if a raven will land on it?
Sure. Go ahead and make an animal handling.
Now you're gonna join the Raven Queen.
Alright. Yeah, you just hold out your hand, kind of keeping still, and eventually a couple of ravens do just sort of come and rest on your arm, sort of looking at each other and occasionally just cawing.
I want to look at the closest one for a couple seconds, and then before it takes off, I want to bite into its neck.
That's interesting. Alright, go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Okay.
Sleight of face check.
Sleight of face. All right, and go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
Oh, he doesn't have a D10 bite.
All right. So you, as you kind of lunge into action, the nearest raven, and sink your teeth into it. It's still alive and flapping in your mouth, now trying to peck at you and get itself free. Let's see. Let me roll for beak attack, I guess. What's your AC? Malakar?
Oh, I was muted. I said 13.
Okay, so it pecks at you, returning. And you take 1 point of piercing damage.
I just want to shake my head like a rabid dog. Keep biting.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2 d20s for me separately.
Something is seriously wrong with this one.
Oh. No.
Okay, and with that, the raven is able to fry itself, and it just takes flight and leaves, heading up for the rafters and eventually just squeezing out one of the holes in the ceiling.
Leaving a
Oh.
bloody trail behind.
Yeah. So, getting back to that investigation check. Yoan, you look high and low, left and right. You see nothing, well, certainly nothing more out of the ordinary than eat a raven. Or really nothing more out of the ordinary than a sword.
Does Ron get inspiration from him trying to bite a raven?
Ron gets inspiration from it?
Yeah. I'm just thinking that it might be close to an Ozzy moment.
I mean, he might have some ideas floating around in
You don't know.
it.
Like a Ron inspiration, not like a your inspiration.
Okay, well, anyway. You do not have any reason to believe trapped in any way.
Does it look like the sword we're looking for?
It looks like a sword that's conveniently atop the tower. Decided to scale while looking for a sword. So there's that.
There's a sword here.
What? Who? Oh, go ahead and grab it.
I'm not grabbing it.
Well, why not? I don't know
You
where
want
it's
me to
been.
do it?
No. I'm afraid
I'll
of what
give
you
it to
do.
him.
Hey, new guy. You like
Alright,
swinging
now-
swords? Come up here and grab this.
I walk over and grab the sword. That'll help.
I stand
Okay.
behind. I jump behind Yoan and like cower, just waiting for him to blow up.
All right. So let's see here. Okay. So, as you walk over and pick up the sword, you can see the outline of the blade that it wasn't.
Now.
Nope. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that the blade of the sword, for a moment, seems to just disappear, and you're left holding a hilt with no blade attached to it. But as you hold it up and sort of investigate, there's this bright flash of light as the light seems to coalesce into the shape of a blade in and of itself.
Damn.
Okay.
Glad I didn't pick it up and burst into flames.
What's this sword called again?
You hear rustling from behind you. It is called Sword of Sunlight.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
You hear some more ruffling of papers and
Okay.
So,
Well, it looks like we found it.
I peek back around. So what does it do?
Do you have an identify spell?
No, but he does. And I point at Malkar.
It's gonna take 10 minutes.
So, I don't know. I guess I will explore the rest of the room while he works on casting his ritual.
okay. All right.
I want to talk to some ravens.
Just like in common, or
Yep.
okay.
As Ron would.
Uh
Just
You know what? I'll cast Speak with Animals as a ritual.
huh. Okay. So, are you still looking around the room, or just jumping right into that?
I'll jump right into the casting of the ritual.
Okay.
I want to talk to the ravens now.
Okay. So Ron goes off and starts talking to ravens. Malkar focuses on his identify ritual to figure out what the hell is so special about this sword, and whether it was in fact worth all the crap that you guys went through to get it. Yoan settles into speak with animals ritual, and what was Dane like?
Just stand there holding the sword out.
Okay, so you're standing there holding it out, but Malkar has time, so he's just
What
kind
was
of. You're standing there, kind of holding the sword, but Malkar has to maintain contact with it the whole time.
Oh.
So as you're doing that,
Okay.
no, you can totally hold it out. He's like reached out and has to just touch it, and he's maybe making some signs or something with his other hand, and saying some magic incantations and such. But yeah, so those of you casting ritual spells, you finish them.
I run my hand across the blade, doing the ritual, and we touch hands.
just gotta make it like that, huh?
of course he does.
Okay. Let's see here. So I am going to make something visible to people.
Do
Or at
any
least
of
at
the
this point.
ravens respond?
Who said I was telling anyone?
Alright, and that's why I'm making it visible brown at this point. And I'm gonna have to whisper you something as well.
Oh.
But effectively, it is the item that should have just appeared in your journal.
Yeah. Ooh.
And let's see.
Do we see Malkar reacting like this?
Alright. I'd say aloud, it's a fancy hilt that makes a blade of light. And that's it.
I want to roll an insight check.
Yeah.
I guess I will.
Ooh.
I will not. I will believe everything he says. For the hell of it. Yeah, I believe everything he says.
I think you would know.
Nope.
Right?
Nope, I by choice believe everything you say.
Oh, okay.
He just doesn't choose to question anything.
Yeah. Yep, that is exactly.
Okay. So I would say, Yoan, you get the impression that Malkar may not have necessarily lied, but he also may not have necessarily told you everything.
I ask Malkar if he's sure that's it. I want to try and intimidate him.
I would say this is more of a player decision thing, just because I don't like using intimidation and persuasion checks on people, PvP style.
Yeah,
But you and Malkar have a history.
I'm going to say it intimidatingly.
Fine. It also seems to make its mark more often than a normal blade.
Okay. No, I don't have much use for it, so I'm fine with letting Dane keep it if anyone else wants it.
Nah, I'm not good with swords.
Alright, I'll hang on to it.
All right.
I'll speak into Dane's mind and tell him everything it does.
Okay. Let's see. So then, Austin, you should have an item showing journal about now.
He's getting all the cool stuff.
Gotta get him caught up with the rest of us.
I mean, I told you some stuff.
Yeah, nothing showed up.
Interesting. All right. So,
Oh, okay, yep, there it is.
yeah, you got it. Okay.
Yep, okay.
Cool. And then there's, well, we'll get to other stuff later. But there may be more than what's on that item card. Okay.
I'll tell him what you whispered me to.
Does he need to attune to it?
That may be something that needs to happen. And
Okay.
Austin, necessarily knowledge that you would have as a player. Go ahead and explain. Some magical items need to be attuned to, which means you need to basically spend a short rest period, kind of getting to know it, getting a feel for it, maybe connecting with it on sort of a magical level.
Okay.
And yeah, it seems like there may be something here that, if you were to take the time and connect with this weapon, there might be some other stuff that you'd discover.
Okay.
All right. So, Yoan, you wanted to speak to some birds, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask them if they know how long this sword's been here.
Okay.
Well, I want to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Yoan.
Okay. They don't really seem to be, familiar with this whole. And as such, you gather that these are probably, actual ravens rather than the other kind you've run into.
Yeah.
Essentially, all they can really tell you about the sword way longer than any of them have.
Okay. Has anyone been up here? Do you know?
They tell you that there hasn't been anybody but them there.
Okay. Hmm. I turn towards the group and ask them if they have any other questions for the ravens.
Where'd the one I might go?
I look at them and say something gibberish.
Okay.
And return to Malkar and say they don't know.
Okay.
I just want to know if any of them are naked hot chicks.
I turn to them. No, they're not.
No. But none of them are like that one.
No, none of them are not. I've established that already.
Can you double check?
I turn towards them and say gibberish yet again. And then turn towards Rod and say, yeah, none of them are naked hot chicks.
Okay.
Okay. Incidentally, as you guys are, kind of having this exchange with the birds, examining the weapon and everything, you can't really help but notice the one sort of predominant feature of the room that hasn't really been entirely discussed, which is in the center of this room. There is what looks to be a large brazier or some sort of vessel in which one might light a really large fire.
I want to light it. If there's stuff in
Okay.
it.
There doesn't seem to be anything in it.
Aww.
No stuff's for you. I don't know. I go into my pack and pull out my twigs that I have collected and put them in the brazier.
I'll put all my torches in there too. I don't need them. 10 torches.
Okay.
I throw the rotten parsnip with a bite taken out of it in there as well.
Alright.
Not all my twigs, just some of mine.
Okay.
I need some of them for spells.
Fair enough. And so you attempt to light a fire then, piled up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I guess Malkar is. I mean, I can't hold it. So.
I can help him.
Yes, so I'll attempt to do it once all the twigs and torches are in.
Okay. So you light a fire and it seems to burn all right, although it seems to sort of die out rather quickly. Beyond that, you can't really perceive any other.
I want to search the room for, I don't know, combustibles.
Is there any furniture?
As far as combustibles, I mean, there are little scraps of twigs. The birds that roost up top.
Yeah. Like, I was wondering if they stored, stuff up here to light it.
No, you don't see anything remotely resembling fuel for a fire.
Huh, that's weird.
Burn it all.
So, anything else you guys would like to do while you're up here with the brazier or otherwise?
Not right now.
I have a bottle of blood of the, what was it? Gothius tree? I wonder if that will do anything. Should I put it in the fire?
Isn't the fire burnt out by now?
Relight
It's
it.
on its way out.
Well, to relight it, you need fuel.
Oh, all the torches and stuff like instantly burn up?
Faster than usual. I mean, they're not.
I want to go, I don't know, back down the stairs to try and find some wood and stuff to bring back up.
Okay. So retracing your steps, not really going anywhere that maybe you hadn't explored yet that could be dangerous. You're able to find some broken furniture and broken bits of balcony. Where could that have come from?
Did we get over the hole safely?
What?
Did we get over the hole safely?
I'd be willing to hand wave that. You made it across.
Alright.
Yeah, so you gather some stuff up.
Yeah. I can lug up part of a pew and lay it across so we can walk.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, so doing that and gathering some loose wood just from various sources around the manor. You have a nice stockpile up top. And what would you like to do?
We'll put it in the brazier to light it again.
Okay.
So can Octavio and Esmeralda get up then?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll grab them and tell them to come up.
Okay. And yeah, they come up and don't really seem to have a whole lot to say about the place. I mean, Esmeralda is quick to point out all the different landmarks you can see from the topmost floor here where the brazier is. Pointing out the various parts of the Sphalic woods, and you can see Vallaki from here, as well as a sort of thin, wispy, dying column of whitish smoke that seems to be rising from an area not so far off where a certain lonely windmill once stood.
The Amber Temple?
You are not able to see anything heard described as the Amber Temple. Though you can, looking around, you can see Kresk and the Abbey of St. Markovia off to the northwest.
It's gotta be some kind of beacon.
I don't know. Should I put up my bubble? Or are we gonna camp up here, or what are we doing?
I mean, what time of day is it?
At this point, it's getting into later afternoon hours, probably 3, 4 o'clock. Still a fair bit of daylight ahead of you.
I don't know. Should take a short rest and then explore the rest of this place before night falls. And then can spend the night, inside here.
Okay.
Not necessarily up this tower, just
Yeah, I could do with a rest.
Alright, so sounds like you guys want to take a short rest.
yeah. Let's
More importantly, I reach into my pocket, pull out my didgeridoo, and just
And play a song of rest.
yes.
Okay.
A
What's
song
that?
of
A
my people.
D6?
It is, I believe, a D. Yeah, it is a
Oh.
D6.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I only needed 5 hit points.
Yeah, you still have to use a hit die.
Yeah. Well, see, hit die.
Yeah. It came across my screen as I was saying that. Okay.
There, I get back 11.
There you go.
I want to put time into finishing my arcane focus.
Okay.
And yeah, Austin, this could be a good time to
The tune with my sword.
yeah. And if I don't know how low you are in hit points, but you can roll hit dice. You have hit dice equal to the number of your level, which is 6,
Okay.
and you can roll them to get back hit points, and you get half of them back after a long rest.
Yeah. So basically, you spend them on short rests, and
Yeah.
Okay. So how do I do that?
You hit the thing that says hit dice.
Like right underneath your health in your character sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you
There you
get 12 hit points back.
there you go.
And now you only have 5 hit dice. So
And you can roll another. What is it? 6? We decided it was
yeah.
Yes.
the Song of Rest. So in that case, you don't even need. You're only missing 1, so go ahead and take your 1 hit.
Roll a freaking 12.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll get. I mean, you'll get 3 of them back after a long rest. So
Yeah,
I was useful.
you were.
Hey, 2 hit die. Well, I only had 1 damage.
yeah.
From the damn raven.
Okay. So you all take a moment to rest and recuperate. Let's see here. I think I have other things to share with Austin for a second.
Yeah. We're just hanging out here for an hour.
Alright.
I'm playing my didgeridoo.
I need 3 more hours. Finish my staff.
It's gonna happen soon.
Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, I can just say this.
You cut out.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. As Dane attunes to the weapon and acquainted with it, he suddenly just has this feeling of empowerment kind of wash over him. Feels better equipped to face whatever dangers might lay ahead, and particularly feels good about taking care of this Strahd character that people have been mentioning.
Does he feel anything towards me?
Nothing in particular.
Slightly awkward because you keep touching me.
I mean, there's that. But yeah, beyond that, it's just
Okay.
cool.
During my rest, I'm just gonna, I don't know, gaze about the landscape.
Okay.
Ask Ron what we're looking for next.
Well, we're looking for. You hear some shuffling. I pull out my papers, and I say, "All right, we've got the history, which is knowledge of the ancient, will help me better understand my enemy. The card is the Miser. Look for a fortress inside a fortress and a place hidden behind fire." And then next piece of paper was nope, we already got this. Flip it over again. Nope, already got this. Flip it over again. I look at Esmeralda. Nope, got this one too. I say, well, we've got the fortress inside a fortress thing, and we have the middle card, which is enemy is a creature of darkness. The middle card leads us to him. The card is an artifact, and he lurks in the darkness where light once shone, a sacred place.
Amber Temple it is. Let's go.
I'm going to contemplate this, see if anything strikes me while looking out.
The location where you're going to find your enemy, or
Yeah, the location or things like that.
We still should get the knowledge.
I don't know where the fortress in the fortress one is, but I have a good feeling about the Amber Temple for the other one.
But that's where Strahd is, isn't it?
Don't think so.
Oh, it can lead us to him, though, but we don't want to go to him yet.
From what I know, and it's just speculation again, but it may have been where he got his power.
Oh, so maybe we can get some of that power.
I'm not sure.
Do we know where that is?
Malkar is aware.
I have like a general idea.
Okay. Can I see it from here?
You could probably see the general region, but you are not able. Strikes you as, well, Amber Temple-esque.
Okay.
I suppose what you would be able to at least look at is you would be aware that the Selenka Pass is to the south, and you can sort of make out a sort of twin-peaked mountain down to your southeast as you look out from this beacon area or whatever it is. And from what Melkar has been told by those he's asked, you would know that the Solenka Pass runs along a sort of mountainside gorge off the edge of Mount Gakit, which is that dual-peaked mountain that you see down there. So, somewhere, probably on the other side of, you may be able to find this Amber Temple.
Okay. Well, you think that should be our next location then?
Unless there's any other place we should go first.
A fortress inside a fortress and a place hidden behind fire.
I have no idea where that would be.
I want to see if this place, when we're done with our rest, I want to see if this place holds any clues that could possibly tell us what that is or how to get to this Amber Temple and stuff. See if there's any, like, you know, library books or writings in stone that give clues.
Okay. Well, as the rest draws to an end, what's the plan for proceeding? I mean, I'm guessing go back, and then, well, from there you'll have to tell me. So, would you all like to just head back downstairs? Staircase.
I want to be adventurous and try the other staircase.
Okay.
Wary for, you know, traps and things.
All right.
Bad flooring.
Bad flooring. Yes. The real enemy here. Okay. Any change to the marching order?
No. But before I go down the stairs, I wave the sword over the fire to see if it does anything. The magic sword.
Okay. It does not seem to do anything.
Okay.
Not a bad idea. Okay. So you all make your way back down the larger landing that now has an old church pew, large break in it. Yoan, as you begin to sort of crack the wooden door that up until this point has remained closed, I'd like you to go ahead and make a...
Ooh.
Okay. So as you crack the door open, you can see just through the sliver of visible area that you're able to peek through. There is a very similar cramped little landing to the one that lies at the gap in the other smaller spiral staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And barely visible, just sort of almost like a silhouette, you can see a humanoid form, longbow in hand, peering out a window, seemingly keeping watch. Looks to be another one of those warriors that
I will ease the door closed and tell people that there's another spectral warrior there.
Kick his ass.
I didn't hear what was going on for the past 5 seconds.
There's another spectral warrior on this side.
Oh.
So, can I sneakily open the door? And how sneakily open the door? And we're on this landing, right?
Yeah, you now sort of have position. You're on the larger landing, although there is the. And the spectral warrior is kind of in the cramped quarters of the smaller kind of side tower.
How far away is he?
If you were to open the door, you'd basically be right up on him.
Okay, so I want to sneakily open the door and take a step back and cast Thorn Whip.
Okay. Cool.
I'm assuming a 26 hits.
Yeah, a 26 definitely hit.
Okay, so then I'm gonna pull him 10 feet closer to me so that he's out on the landing with us.
Okay. So yeah, you pull him just kind of to your side of the door now, so that there's a bit more ready access on the part of the rest of your party.
Yep.
Cool. For simplicity, since I kind of have initiative up for this exact configuration, I guess we'll just kind of take it from there. So.
I get to go again? Surprise round.
That's true. Given that, then, it would actually be Dane's animated armor, since if we're going to do that, because the armor got a 16. So, would the armor like to enter the fray, or hang back?
It'll try and attack it.
Okay. So the armor barrels spectral warrior thing, and let's see here. As a battle axe, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So then, that's a 22 to hit. And, yeah, so it cleaves into the warrior, not seemingly doing a ton of damage, but at least landing contributing. Okay. Anything else on the part of the armor?
Nope.
Alright, Yoan.
I'll just cast Thorn Whip again.
Okay. And, yeah, that connects and you do points of damage.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, Melkar.
Is this thing out of melee range as me?
Yeah, it is. I would say you were able to hang back, kind of coordinating with Yoan to know that you wouldn't want to be right up by him because the thing's getting pulled back towards you. So, yeah.
Pew pew!
Man. You and those nat ones on the Eldritch Blast.
They always roll high damage too.
Alright, so the first one, obviously. But the second one connects pretty squarely and kind of staggers the thing for a moment as it sort of knocks it off its balance. Alright. Ron.
No balcony to fall on Dane, right? With Eldritch Blast.
I mean, I guess that top floor with fissure and everything, it wasn't as egregious as the double crit fail last time.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna look over Yoan's shoulder and say, "Wow, you're even worse of a knight than your brother on the other stairs over there."
Okay.
I'm gonna viciously mock it.
I am.
Okay, let's see if he's as good at saving throws as his brother. Oh, that's a 1.
Max damage too.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And I'm actually going to look over at Dane, and I'm gonna say, "Why don't you show us how that sword works?" and I will inspire him.
Very nice. So your inspiration die is what, a D8?
I believe so, yes.
All right. So essentially, anytime Dane makes, there you go. Read that. Yeah, pretty much any D20 roll you can add a D8 once. You know, it's a single use thing. But
So,
all
like,
right.
if you swing to attack and you miss, you can add your inspiration, and it might make it hit.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So then finally, that's going to bring us to who is already not looking all that great. Still kind of struggling to hold its form, but not going to back down. And let's see. I mean, the only one who's really in armor is Yoan. So,
It has disadvantage.
yep. It is going to attack Yoan with its long sword. First one with disadvantage is a 10. And the second one, not with this,
Is what?
22.
Oh,
Or-
yikes.
Ow.
Yeah. So you take 9 points. And that's going to do it for the warrior's turn. Brings us to Dane.
All right. I go up, hit him a couple times with the sword.
Okay, and you're using the...
Oh, I don't have the new sword set up. How do I do that?
Let's not worry about it right now.
Okay.
But how about this? Just go ahead and... Well, actually, it might be easier just to do that. Let's see if I can drag and drop.
Should be able to. It's got a item guard sheet.
Yeah. Alright. Let me pull up that character sheet. No, that's the animated armor. I just want Dane. What are you saying over there?
I don't know.
Oh. Sunblade. Do the thing, please. Yeah, what's your problem?
I think Thunder Fury is a Windseeker.
Did you say Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I thought that you had said Thunderblade, Blessed. Fuck.
I did accidentally say that the other day.
Yeah.
Why isn't it?
I cast Bardic
no work.
Inspiration on Eric so that he can get this done. What's going on though? It's just not.
Yeah,
letting the
it's
drag and drop.
yeah, it's not taking the drag and drop. So let's see.
D20 plus efficiency and strength mod plus 2.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we'll just take your. In which case, you do connect the one time. And let's see. So that is. Go ahead and roll another D8 for me.
Damn.
Nice. All right, and so with that, the blade just springs to life, glowing and seemingly just burning its way right through this phantom warrior thing until it just evaporates, disappearing completely.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
like when I say "damn."
Of course it was a normal blade.
What do you mean?
Okay, Becca's taking care of it.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
I would like to loot its non-existent money as well.
Yeah, there's lots of non-existent money to be had.
Alright, I loot that, and in the process, roll and light a joint.
Okay.
And pass it around with the party, whoever wants it.
All right.
Asked Amy if he's talked to the sword yet.
What was that?
Have you talked to the sword yet?
Yeah, I had talked to it up in the tower, top of the tower.
You should ask it about the ooze. See if it knows anything.
Okay.
Wait, you hear voices too?
His sword is sentient.
Oh. Wait, really? Is it
Yeah.
smart?
I'm not sure of the extent of its intelligence, but I do know it at least has one.
Well, like, can you watch, like, concerts and stuff on that thing, or? I don't know, I mean, it's cool and flashy and stuff. Like, what do you see if you look into it? Or talk to it? What does it tell you?
I guess it depends on what you ask it and how you ask it.
Did it say anything about me?
No.
Did it?
You don't think so?
Okay.
I've never meant a sentient object. Just make sure it stays out of my way.
Alright. So,
And I would like to attempt to viciously mock it by flipping it off. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Because even if it's a sentient weapon, I don't think psychic damage does anything.
I will tell you it made its wisdom save.
So, okay, do I realize that do I realize that it's saved?
Probably not.
Okay. I'll just... Yeah, it's not very smart, like I said.
Can I try and use my awakened mind to talk to it?
You can give it a shot.
I just want to say, hello, what's your name?
No response.
Yeah.
Well, where should we go from here? I guess we gotta go down to the wagon at the very least.
Yeah, that is one possibility.
Esmeralda, do you have anything... wait. No, this isn't where your wagon is. Never mind.
Yeah, no, she pulled a bunch of stuff out of her wagon and
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, I was wondering if she had anything else. But, should we try to get the tiger into the wagon as well, so we can maybe get it help?
Who are you asking?
Like, anybody around, I would assume, like, I'm just standing with the rest of the group.
Would you ask?
Do we want to get the tiger into the wagon? So that we might be able to look into getting help.
Up to Riccio, I guess it is.
Well, he certainly seems open to the idea. He tells you that he's heard some less than pleasant stories about what happens in the die in Barovia, so anything he could do to save it that, he's certainly willing to give it a shot.
Right, but I'm not very strong, so you guys can do the heavy lifting.
Well, I mean, if we all help, I'm not strong either.
I'm strong, but I have no idea what's happening.
Alright, yo, and that's all you.
What's
they're
all
they're
me?
talking about loading the body of the saber.
You
Okay.
put out.
I heard him. Okay, well, I mean, I would need some help, but I think we can do it.
Okay. I will assist.
All right. So, to clarify, you're all going to head down this opposite small tower and basically leave the way you came into the mansion in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
There's nothing
Okay.
but spiders otherwise.
Yeah, killed quite a few. Or killed some, at least.
Well, we can take
Terrified
the rest of them on
others.
if we want.
Yeah, basically, from what you've seen of the mansion, there's, well, the places you've spent your time today, you know, the main hall, the chapel, the tower, all that stuff. There is the, what you could, I guess, call the spider wing to the south. And then there's a wing to the north that you haven't really poked around in all that much.
I'm gonna do this.
To who I think it's to?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a different methods. I'll just say it aloud. I ask if I should take the power in the Amber Temple, and should I recruit any members of the party?
Alright. You do not get a response.
What an asshole.
Still no response, even though you called him an asshole.
Okay. So, yeah. Get down there, load body. And I do want to explore some of the rooms and stuff in the building.
Okay.
While Yoan's doing that, I would like to also cast this.
You're helping me load the body.
What's saying I can't cast this? It only takes 6 seconds.
Oh, yeah. It's just not while I'm carrying the body.
While I'm
And,
supposed to be helping you, I'm actually doing this.
And who is the target of Ron's?
Irina.
Okay.
And I just want to say, Irina, where are you? Getting ready for the final encounter. How are you? And that's it.
Okay. You send the message and wait for a while. And there's no response.
Huh. I say, yeah. Well, Irene is dead.
I'm going to test my luck, and I want to do sending again. The same person.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, what kind of cosmic whore are you? Can't even respond to a loyal follower.
No response.
What an asshole! Rip my spell slots.
It's okay, I'm gonna cast Sending again as well. I'm gonna cast with the same bandmate that I talked to before. And I'll say, I'll be done soon. Hopefully you guys are all okay. Man, have I got some stories to tell you. And that's it.
Okay. You actually
What was that? You cut out.
you actually do get a response back, saying that you should enjoy your break. Johnny James has it covered.
Oh.
Got replaced.
Johnny James.
Mhm.
Does he have a last name?
He might.
Like Rio?
You don't know.
Alright, Ron just goes and pouts in the corner.
Protron, ask him what's wrong.
Oh, I was replaced in the band that I had helped. They replaced me with some new jackass. I'll have to... I'll start my own band. You want to be in it?
Hey Morty, I'm a band of sorts.
Well, I mean, I won't judge. I mean, do you play drums? What do you do?
No musical instrument.
I mean, I can teach you the drums. It's real easy.
I turn at this point and say I play the bongos.
Good enough. You're the drummer.
And I pull bongos out of my pack and start playing bongos.
Melkar, do you know how to play the lute?
Pretty well.
Do not know any instruments. Except instruments are...
Can you translate that to... Wait a sec, you could be our pyro guy. You're good with fire, right? You could be the pyro guy. I'll sing, I look at between Esmeralda and Rictavio. Are either one of you good at the lute? Rictavio, you look like you shredded back in your day.
This is actually a valid question because past.
What was that?
This is a valid question because he. Let's take a look at Rictavio's secret talents here. Alright, yeah, I would say that given his past, probably
Knows his way around to what?
knows his way around a lute.
Awesome. And Esmeralda, I know you've got a set of pipes on you. You can be a co-singer.
She just kind of gives you this look. Is it really the time to be doing this?
Yes. Because we're gonna need some sort of a guise in order for us to perform and get Strahd out. So, what do we say? We could be called the Ron Fosborn Band. I mean, I already told Strahd that I run the band.
I'm not being part of that kind of a band.
Not the Ronnie Fosborn band.
I like it. I like it. We could go with that.
Ronnie Fosborn.
Uh,
I mean, I've got a whole bunch of music I've already written.
what, like Howl at the Moon?
Believe it was Scream at the Stars, but
Well, we'll need to practice, I think, a bit.
I mean, I could show you all that you would need to know in an afternoon.
Outside, right?
Huh?
We're all outside now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just gonna climb up on top of the wagon and finish my staff.
I mean,
Okay.
what do you say? We do this and then we get out and we show those jackasses of my old band what for. You guys will be rich beyond your wildest dreams and will never have to do anything again.
Let's work on getting out first.
Okay. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
I don't like people.
You don't have to like people. I mean, I know plenty of people in the industry that hate people but do it for the money.
I just work on loading the cat into the trailer.
Okay. It is certainly a labor-intensive process to get it kind of situated and, you know, shift all the other crap that's accumulated in the wagon one wall and make room. But yeah, so you're able to do that. What's next?
I want to explore the rooms in the castle cautiously, looking for, I don't know, clues and useful things.
Okay.
I will empty-handedly follow Yoan, humming.
Alright. So, would you just like me to highlight the places that you haven't really explored yet?
Yeah.
Alright. So, you get the impression you've pretty much seen everything there is to see. Given that most of it's kind of crumbled to the ground. Spiders. Having taken care of the pests, there's not a whole lot going on there anymore. The North Wing, you really haven't explored at all. So on the ground level, there are 3 sets of double doors that seem to head in that direction. One almost immediately as you enter the first chamber where the large staircase is that leads upstairs to the balcony that is partially still there. Well, actually, that doesn't even clarify because there are multiple balconies now that are partially there. Because you guys just can't do balconies.
That's your fault. You can't do balconies. You can't leave a balcony untouched.
So, Leading out from the master entry, there are two sets of double doors. One closest to the front of the house, and one near the back of the entry chamber. You also remember that there is a set of double doors from the dining area between the entry hall and the chapel. Would you like to explore any of those, or head upstairs?
Let's explore the ground floor first.
Okay. Would you like
Starting
to...
from the left and going around.
Okay, so hug the left wall strats. Gotcha. All right. And this group is Yoan, Ron.
I mean, I don't know if Dane wants to come with us or anyone else.
I'm out on the wagon
He's finishing his stick.
while crying.
I mean, it's a stick.
Crying about the lack of response.
Does he accidentally slip and cut himself while crying?
Kick him while he's down, huh?
Finishes the ritual. Gets a response in blood on the floor.
Stains it a lovely cherry color. Or, I don't know, it's black, so. Lovely black color. Is his blood black or just his veins?
Have you
Yes.
seen him bleed? I don't know that you've seen him bleed, at least since that whole thing went down.
Well, for my knowledge.
For your knowledge. Because you're curious, his blood is actually black.
Okay.
Alright. So, we've got Yoan, we've got Ron. What's Dane doing through all this?
Oh, I'm going with them.
Okay. So the three of you venture through the first into the north wing. That's as of yet unexplored. And as you open the doors, carefully, kind of peeking in, you see that there is a wood-paneled den that's been ransacked, its furnishings tossed about. A cold, dark fireplace dominates the west wall between two narrow windows. Standing upright against the north wall, the far one from your vantage point, is a sarcophagus made of black wood with some sort of effigy carved into its lid.
I want to read the effigy.
Okay. It's about 30 feet away from here.
I want to sneak towards it.
Okay. Are other people accompanying her? Him? Or just hanging back?
Oh yeah, I'm following behind. Just kind of
Okay.
absent-mindedly.
Alright, so as you begin to kind of venture across, a fire erupts in the fireplace in a draconic form. It hisses and crackles, and you can see it unfurl a pair of smoky wings. I would like the three of you to go ahead and roll initiative.
That looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Is that the thing we first saw when we originally came here?
You don't know.
Oh.
Alright. So, the thing has erupted from the fire, hissed, crackled, unfurled its wing. Just seems to be staying there for the time being, but Ron, it's your turn to do as...
I'm gonna step up and say, whoa, 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 we mean you no harm. Does it respond in any way, shape, or form?
Well, not yet. But if you
What was that? You cut out.
I said it doesn't respond in any way just yet, but if you'd like to, mechanically speaking, try to talk it down, persuasion check or something, I'd allow.
Yeah, that's what I would like to try to do.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Anything else?
I'll just say, everybody, don't attack. Maybe it's not bad. And then, other than that, no, that'll end my turn.
All right. Dane, what are you doing?
I'll stand there and wait. Not
Okay.
attacking it.
Okay.
Hold your action until, I don't know, it responds.
Okay.
That you can hold your action. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, basically it's just saying if some, parameter happens, if some trigger that you're waiting for happens, take some action. So yeah, like if it attacks, you'll attack it.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, before we get to Yoan, the fiery dragon hisses. My knights have fallen in. Save them if you can. Show them the light they. And with that, the fire burns out.
You see Ron scrambling to get a piece of paper out and say, oh. Can somebody repeat that?
I repeat it.
The flaming dragon. My knights have fallen into darkness.
Yep.
Save them if you can. Show them the light they have lost.
What happened to the revenants' bodies?
They still seem to be there, right where you left them.
Okay. I turn to Dane, say maybe use your blade on their bodies?
Stab them again?
So I take the sunblade and walk outside and poke the first body that's right there by the door.
Okay. You sear the flesh a little bit. There's weird cooked human flesh scent that kind of begins to fill the entry hall. But other than that, there's no reaction or response.
Okay.
But all he said was, my
Oh.
knights have fallen into darkness. Save them if you can. Show them the light they have lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the inscription on the sarcophagus.
Okay. It's not even so much an inscription as, well, you look up and you see essentially an outline of a figure carved in lid of the sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. Do I have any paper? Can I turn to Ron and ask him to, like, make a etching, a rubbing?
Sure. I'll do it.
Okay. And so you do that.
Can I open the sarcophagus to see what's in it?
Sure. So you grab the lid and kind of securing your fingers around the edge, give it a tug, and it seems kind of stuck, but on that second try you do manage to kind of pry it loose. wood on wood squeal. You open it to reveal what looks like a wine cabinet.
Hmm.
Now, the only thing that you really see in there now is shattered wine glasses and decanters.
Oh.
It seems somebody's already raided this thing.
Okay. Well.
What you see is after you told me to edge it, I sit down and I start doing a somewhat abstract drawing of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
It's pretty good though.
Duly noted. Alright. So what's next? By the way, looking around, in addition to toward the front of the house, there is a pair of double doors. It would be just to your left as you're kind of rummaging through the sarcophagus, and a few other scattered bits of wreckage here on the floor as well. Some broken furniture and such.
Okay. I'm just going to look for clues on, his, nights and the light and anything that looks interesting in other rooms.
Okay. So I guess for starters, you'd like to poke around this room, or are you moving on?
I'll poke around this room.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Just as a general for all rooms.
Okay.
Investigation.
All right. Let's see. So, as you're looking around, you really don't find ruined furniture, and as you're kind of poking around the corners and just checking for anything out of place, you do see what looks like a conveniently straight bit of sort of another crease or crack in the wall. Might indicate a secret door of sorts. This is on the wall opposite the one facing, be on your right.
Okay. I want to poke around to try and figure out how to open it.
Okay. It's easy enough. You just sort of put a little bit of weight on it, and it gives. And it sort of begins to open. It doesn't fall all the way clear, but you can see through the little crack between what's now very obviously a door and the rest of the wall. You can see the side of a large barrel on your right as you're kind of just peering through here.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
For now.
Okay. Well, I want to continue opening it.
Okay. So you push the door the rest of the way open, and you see in this reasonably compact room, there are 5 large barrels lying in wooden braces. Dark room. Looking about, you see that each of the barrels a familiar name, and the name of the wine is also emblazoned across the casks. Champagne du Lestat. These barrels do seem to be quite old, though. So probably drink at your own risk.
I lean out and tell Ron that I think I found champagne or wine.
Ron is there faster than you can, know. You literally look away and look back, and Ron is right there, like, where?
Okay. So as you make your way into the room and kind of get a better look at things, you hear a faint scraping sound from a back corner, kind of tucked away behind one of the wines.
I say, you better stop whatever you're doing. Come on out.
All right, you hear this kind of slight, reedy voice. I mean, you. I barely survived this place myself. And crawling from kind of wedged between the side of the barrel and the wall, you see what looks like what you've seen as an elf, but a bit different. Not any breed of elf that you've seen back in your home world or home continent. Black hair, kind of pale skin.
It's Miles.
It is not Miles.
The little bastard will live through anything.
Miles just has the worst luck.
Yeah.
No, this looks to be a full-blooded elf of a bit older than, say a deckhand in his teens. And he looks to be quite wounded. You can see that there are a number of still bleeding wounds about his body. And as he kind of drags himself out from between the wall and the cask, as soon as he's somewhat in view, he just kind of collapses down to the ground, holding up both hands as much as he can, sort of weakly, with them both shaking, and says, "See, I mean you no harm."
Well, that was easy. Glad you see
Aw.
things our way.
Can I insight check him?
Sure. I mean, you don't see any reason not to.
Okay.
I just look back at you and say, this couldn't have gone easier. So, what brings you here? Oh, do get off the floor.
He visibly struggles. A few small pools of blood have.
You cut out.
He visibly struggles to kind of haul himself up to a sitting position against, with a little bit of blood having gathered underneath, lying kind of at your mercy for a moment.
I'm gonna heal him.
Okay.
Cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Alright. Yeah, he looks considerably better. Maybe not 100%, but considerably better. And he sort of gasps and says, "Oh, thank you so much. I was forced to flee in here. I was
You
fuck. Hold on. I don't even know what to do here. Let me try boosting my mic. 1 second. That. Is this any better?
So far, so good.
Okay. Alright. So, he says that he was forced to flee in here as he was out searching for a missing girl.
Missing
Why?
girl.
Why were you searching for a missing girl?
He tells you that a little Vistani girl had
Wait, what?
a young Vistani girl by the name of Arabelle had disappeared from a local Vistani camp. And he was sent out along with a few others. But instead of finding her, he found a wandering mob of plant-like creatures that attacked him and forced him to flee into the manor.
So you're Vistani again? You're Vistani?
He tells you that he is not. His people tend to live. He is a dusk elf. Kind of looking at you, he gathers that maybe you're not from around here, and relays that information to you, that he is a dusk elf.
Okay. When was this?
He thinks for a moment and says, "Oh, several days ago now. I haven't been able to recover my strength, and to be honest, I wasn't sure I'd make it out of here. But thanks to you, it seems I may just survive."
Well, we have taken care of the plant creatures, and the path should be clear through here.
He kind of looks at you incredulously, and says, "Well, what are you doing here? Why would you willingly enter this place?"
Because we're smart. We had numbers advantage.
We were curious. We heard some rumors that there were some, fancy things in here.
You would venture into a cursed house in search of.
As you may have gathered, we're not from around here. Not sure. I mean, we know it's abandoned, but the knowledge that it's cursed.
This isn't the first cursed house that I've pissed in.
And he's an idiot.
All right. He seems taken aback by just how much you don't know, and proceeds to just tell you. Clearly, you don't know what you've gotten involved with. This is. Well, do you even know the name of this place?
It sounds like somebody sneezing.
He gives you a kind of sour look and says, "The name of this house is Argynvostholt.
Gesundheit.
This was the home of a great silver dragon many years. And this dragon, who lived among many humans and the like, he was a force for good here in Barovia. He led a group of knights by the name of the Order of the Silver Dragon. They gave shelter to refugees and fought against the forces of evil that seemed drawn to this place. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to fight off Strahd and his armies. Strahd and the mobs of followers he amassed eventually killed the dragon Argynvost, destroying the Order, sacking the mansion, and, well, we Dusk Elves and the Vistani do all we can to avoid this place. As, well, we fear what may still linger here.
I think we already took care of that too.
Yeah, there were some revenants, some spirits that are no more.
We took care of them. We took care of some Shadow Knights. We got a sword. Yeah, I would say we're doing pretty good for this place.
That may well be, but don't let your guard down. I would hate to see good people meet an unpleasant fate.
Now you're just being ominous.
He just kind of gives you another look, like not willing to even argue.
Oh, well, we get you out of here.
If you've cleared the way, I think I can find my way out. I just wasn't sure what I'd run into if I were to venture out from this room.
No, you should. I give him just directions through the door.
Okay.
Was the tribe of Vistani that he was talking about, was that the same one that Madame Eva's from?
No, actually.
Weren't there kids hanging out by Madame Eva's house?
Maybe a few. I mean, there are families of...
Okay. Alright, never mind then.
Okay. So looking around, you do still see the 5 wine barrels, as well as a set of double doors back to the main entrance chamber.
I'll grab him before he leaves and I'll say, hey, have you tried any of the wine in here? Is any of it good? What?
The casks smell of vinegar and the taps are dry.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Suit yourself.
Alright, I will go and try to see if I can squeeze anything out of any of the barrels.
There is a really strong vinegar scent. Beyond that, dry as a bone.
All of them?
Yep.
Damn it.
Can we pry one of them open?
Give me a strength check.
I'll assist him.
Okay, strength check with advantage.
I will stand by and act like I'm assisting, but really just amusedly watch.
Okay, that's a save, but whatever.
Oh, oops, wrong one.
You're able to crack one open, and yeah, it is quite dry, and now the room is rapidly filling with a strong, pungent vinegar odor.
Oh, well, let's get out of here. Close the door.
Was there anything in the barrel?
Nope.
No? Okay.
You know, hey Maya, I wonder if, or not Maya.
Who's Maya?
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of, this girl I once knew. I meant Yoan. You think maybe the 3 that Dragon talked about or whatever that thing was that popped up in the fire, you think those were those 3 dudes we killed?
Ah, well, it's possible.
Well, I wonder if they'll come back. Because, well, I don't know. They didn't seem to be too hurt the next day, or, well, 2 days after we came back.
I don't know. Maybe.
So. Alright, well, should we, like, leave and then come back again?
Maybe later.
Okay.
Can always see what happens.
Okay. Should we drag these guys inside so they don't, like, get taken by wild animals or whatever?
I mean, I think they're okay by themselves.
You're talking about the bodies of the revenants?
Yeah.
They're inside. They're in the entry hall.
Oh, okay. I thought they were outside too. I forgot about that. Okay. Never mind. I look around and I realize I'm actually inside. I'm not out standing out front. I say, okay, well, my job here is done, and I'll go join Melkar on the cart.
I mean,
Or
I'll
dragon.
continue looking through rooms.
Okay. To summarize the rest of the first floor, you pass through an old plundered kitchen, overturned tables, and old rusty utensils kind of strewn about. You find beyond that, like what was once servants' quarters. Wreckage of probably half a dozen beds, bits of. Beyond that, sort of on the northmost perimeter of the mansion, you see that there is a kind of lowered area near which you see an iron gate. Seems to just lead off to a path. There's nothing really of note visible beyond the iron. Moving on to what you gather would be the room through the double area where the sarcophagus converted to a wine rack. You find a beat up, once again ransacked parlor, tattered velvet drapes and more broken up furniture. A chandelier that seems to kind of precariously hang from the ceiling like it could fall at any moment. And a faded mural that depicts metallic dragons and colorful birds flying beneath white clouds. That's the first floor.
Cool. So I guess I'll head up.
Yeah, your two options from there would be head up, there is also the courtyard out behind the chapel. There is a structure back there. Which of those sounds more interesting?
I will always go to the leftmost one.
You will always go to the leftmost one. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess the structure is kind of to your left as you enter the mansion. Kind of.
Yeah.
Alright, so you head out the door that emerges from the chapel area, and find yourself walking through an old cemetery. Kind of thin shroud of fog hovering over the ground. The entire cemetery is framed by a 7-foot-tall wrought iron fence. And in the northeast corner, now that you're close enough, you can see there's a mausoleum there.
I want to go and so I guess explore the mausoleum.
Okay.
You said there was a garden?
More a cemetery than a...
Can Ron have wandered out into the cemetery?
Sure. So as Yoan makes his way across, there are a number of graves, almost as though the bodies that were once interred there crawled up out of the grave. There's
Very
no
untrustworthy.
there's no movement. I imagine carefully making your way across. Draw any attention.
Yes.
Okay. So you make it across the cemetery without incident. And you approach the mausoleum and you see tarnished silver-plated gargoyle shaped like dragon worm cling to the stone relief of the mausoleum. An 8-foot-tall, 4-foot-wide white marble set into the southwest wall is engraved with a name. Argynvost.
Is there a way to open it?
It doesn't seem to be locked.
Okay, I will open it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check.
I turn to Dane to get some help.
Alright, so I help open it.
Alright.
Do I roll again?
Yeah, go ahead and we'll have Yoan roll again.
Roll a 2, roll a 3.
Nice. I mean...
I turn towards Dane and I say, well, maybe you would be better at this.
Okay, Dane, give me a strength check.
Alright. A little bit better.
Yeah. Say that's good enough. It's still a bit of a struggle. But you do eventually kind of ease it open. And looking around in there, you can see dark, dusty. You see 4 empty alcoves with raised floor. And etched into the far wall is a verse written in a language. I wonder if any of you speak it.
I speak it. So I say so.
I do, but I'm not there.
I know Sylvan.
It's not Sylvan.
Dang it.
Probably in Draconic.
Probably.
It's something Ron speaks, but Ron's not there either.
He is wandering around just outside, though.
Yep, smoking a J.
Do I recognize what language it's in?
Make a history check. Yeah, it looks like it could pass for what you mean.
Do I know Ron speaks Draconic?
You just hear me walking by, just chanting, "Do hast mish," and you recognize that as also being Draconic.
Draconic is German, confirmed.
I imagine Draconic's like real harsh language. It's like an angry sounding language.
But you should also get the lyrics right.
Yes, I know, I'm bad. Don't want to get
Because you
copyrighted.
definitely said something else that's not what they say.
Yes, I don't want to get copyrighted, so, and I don't speak German, so.
Well, wait to actually say something in German then.
Yes.
I don't know if you knew that the word you replaced was also German.
Anyway, yes.
But yeah, so I call out to him and tell him to translate this.
Oh, I'll walk over and look at it. Do I recognize it?
Yeah, it's easy enough for you to read.
Alright, what does it say?
Here lie the bones.
Oh, you lagged out. Or cut out.
Of course. Here lie the bones and treasures of Argynvost, Lord of Argynvostholt, and founder of the Order of the Dragon.
Huh. I recite that to the rest of the group.
Okay. You notice, by the way, the place that this verse seems to be referring to, conspicuously empty.
Oh boy.
Do you mention this?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, maybe it was just robbed already.
Well, if I had to put two and two together, I would say this crypt might be the dragon whose house we just raided. In
Oh.
which case, if he was buried here and is not buried here anymore, that can only mean one thing. I lost
He's
track.
undead.
What was that?
He's undead.
Yes. Ron lost track of what he was saying about this time.
I finished it for him.
Yeah. He just kind of starts kind of glancing off and like just squinting around rereading that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay.
Should we get Melkar to go in there and see if he can find anything?
What would he be looking for?
I don't know, but I'd rather he get blown up than me.
You are so selfless.
I could be asking you to go in.
I don't care.
I don't know. If I had to cast my vote, I would say I would vote Melkar is most likely to go in.
Most likely.
Yes.
I walk in.
And that's where we'll pick it up next week.